It's March, and it's St. Patrick's Day, and my daughter just asked me how to teach her how to fight. So this video works out perfectly. So let's get right to it. The first thing that you're going to want to do is not make yourself appear large to your enemies, but rather compact and tight. And the first thing you want to do is lower your chin into your collarbone, because your chin is a weak point. And the second thing that you want to do is protect your ribs. And finally, you want to protect your face. And well, I guess I left the important thing is you can't see my feet, but you want to take one step and then do what I just told you to do. Protect the ribs, protect the face. And this is called the peekaboo stance. And it is pretty perfect, except its kryptonite is the uppercut. As you can see, you can go straight up. So how you perfect that and more evolution, what you want to do is you want to get into the peekaboo and slightly twist a bit, okay? And just drop the elbow slightly. And now you can see the uppercut is not going to go up the chin like the classic, right? The classic and my version of the peekaboo, right? So that's your stance, right? And you can call that the peekaboo, or you can call it your shell, like a turtle, right? You want to get into your shell, behind your shields, right? And you're protected. When you do this, you're protected at all angles. So you want to do that. And right, so since this is dedicated to my daughter, it's not just going to be a basic, it's going to be a basic video, yes, but it's also dedicated to self-defense. So the first thing that you're going to want to learn if you're being attacked by a man is to climb the staircase. And I'll show you what I mean. So I don't mean climb the staircase one step at a time, but rather than go up about two different steps. And you can also train to do this. Walk up and down stairs. Go down the stairs slow and then burst up. And what this is going to do, okay, it's going to train your body to do this. You see that? You see this fly? That's all that I'm doing. I'm literally just climbing the stairs. And what that's doing is it's you're taking a man in his most weakest and fragile area, and that is his groin. Okay? So just remember that. You know, and you want to get nice and close. And before you do that, okay, you want to take your hand and put it above your head and go into a 12 position, right, like a clock. I don't know if you're seeing that correctly, if it's this way or not, but this is 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or vice versa, right? Either or, up is 12, this is 6 o'clock. So you want to go into a 12 o'clock position, and you want to drop it right on his face, right here. Like this, and then this. And he's out cold. So that's what I would suggest to do. 12, 6, and he's out. And like I said, how you prepare to train your body to strengthen it for that knockout is simply run upstairs, burst upstairs, and that's all you got to do for that. If you're fighting a girl, now we'll get back into basic combat, boxing. We're going to get into our shell, okay? And the first combination you're going to learn is not the jab, right? The jab is not a combination, it's just a punch. So the first combination that you're going to do is called the 1-2. Kind of confusing, but it's not, okay? And the 1-2, your first combination number 1 is And the reason why combination number one is so important is because you can just do an entire fight. You can win an entire fight with combination one, just like a trip hammer, right? Like just repetitively going at 1, 2, 1, 2, and just not stopping. And so combination number one is really, really important. You want to start and end your fights with that. So that is your base combination. The second combination I want you to learn is, okay, you jab, you cross, and then you throw a hook. And the reason why this is so important and is because you got to learn human anatomy, just basics, right? Anything under the eyebrows to the collarbone is extremely fragile on any human, male or female. Obviously, the eyes, there's an old saying, bullseye, and that's because you would put a sword through the bull's eye and the bull would die. You put a sword anywhere else, it could take the punishment for a little while, but you get the bull in the eye with an arrow or a spear or a sword, and that bull is going to die. So the eyes are fragile, the teeth are really fragile, and obviously the neck is the second most fragile thing on a man, and I would say the most fragile thing on a woman. So anything above, underneath the eyebrows to the collarbone is where you want to be striking when it comes to up top. And yeah, so when you're hitting with the jab, you want to be hitting the teeth or the neck. If the neck is exposed, then go for the neck. But if their chin is tucked, like I'm teaching you to do, then just go for the teeth. In between the lips, go for the teeth, right? That's your jab punch. And then your cross, the same thing. Go right for in between the lips or the neck if it's open. And then for the second combination, right, it's the jab, cross, and then hook. And when you're going for the hook, you got to go for not the chin, not the upper part of the jaw, but the corner of the jaw. And that is the fastest way to knock out a man and a woman. And it only takes 8 pounds of pressure. So I can curl like 200 pounds, right? That I can deadlift a lot of weight. So if you can pick up 8 pounds just off the ground, just lift it like that, that's all it takes to break a jaw, is that amount of force. So if you can lift 8 pounds, you can give 8 pounds of pressure. It's the same thing, just the opposite of gravity. That's how easy it is to knock out a woman or a man and break the human jaw. So anywhere from 6 to 8 pounds of pressure. That's it. So having a lot of power is fun and it's good, but it's kind of obsolete when it comes to things like accuracy and agility and stamina and speed. So, and that's because when you want to hit the right areas, you want to hit the neck if it's open, and the neck is very small, so you need good accuracy in order to hit it. So don't worry about power, except for your legs, and because your power punch is going to be down there, right? That's going to send any man to the floor. And again, if it's a woman and you're being attacked by a woman, then just go for her neck and so forth. And so yeah, combination number 3 is you want to go 1, 2, 3, right? So jab, cross, jab, and while their hands are busy, you want to go for a cross to the body, and this is going to knock almost anybody out, right? So you want to go. So both combination 2 and 3 if you have accuracy and speed, not power, a little bit of power, only 8 pounds of pressure, pounds that is required, then you're going to knock them out either from the hook, from the jaw in combination number 2, or you're going to knock them out from the cross to the body in combination number 3. So, that's how you got to do it. I suggest to anybody who is doing any type of combat sports to just stay away from the gym and study human anatomy and psychology, and also the history of combat and so forth, because you can be a warrior, but when you study psychology and human anatomy, you become a supreme warrior, you become an ultimate warrior. Because like I said, power really doesn't have much to do with fighting. When God created man and woman, he gave women certain advantages, like the male groin. You hit a male in the groin correctly, he's going to go down. Doesn't matter how big he is, and so forth. And same with the jawbone. The jawbone is only 6 to 7 pounds of pressure to completely knock out any human being. So, yeah, it's not about power. It's about knowledge, right? And that's why a lot of the old boxers, they say boxing is 90% in the head and only 10% in the body. And I believe that the older that I get. But yeah, if you're going to start training, to start defending yourself, then the best thing to do is to train on the heavy bag and shadow box and skip and run stairs, okay, and do a lot of cross training exercises like box jumps and burpees. Study burpees. Do burpees is probably the best thing. One of the most popular exercises in the military, and they do that for a reason, and so forth. But yeah, just practice your 1-2, your combination number 1. Practice that, and do that for about 3 minutes, and then change and go to your combination number 2, right? And remember to always stay in your stance, right? You have to stay in your stance. And when you get tired, in a real fight, when you get tired, stay in your stance and let them come at you. And what your stance is for is so that they can come at you and hit you, right? Because they're not gonna be hitting anything but your hands. So, and while they're hitting you and you're in your shell, you're regaining your energy back, and you're focusing on when he's tired, and then you're going to strike. And that's really what boxing is all about, and combat. You look at really conservative fighters like John Jones, and he looks like a skinny little toothpick, and that's kind of because he is. But he fights with his mind. He's same with Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre. None of these guys are big, huge muscle guys. They know how to fight with their mind, and that's why you don't see a lot of bodybuilders in mixed martial arts, because they believe that it is the body that can destroy the mind, but it's not, right? It's, again, 90% brain and only 10% body. So you have to get that in your head. That is really what lesson number 1 is, right? And then lesson number 2 is you're getting into your shell, remembering to stay in your shell. So every time that you throw a punch, it comes back to the face. No matter what punch you're throwing, it comes back to the face. There's always one hand protecting the face at all times. And right here, my shoulder's protecting this side. And then when I throw this way, the shoulder's protecting my face this way. And that's because my chin is inside protecting myself. And I have a pretty good advantage because I don't have a neck. You know, you see a lot of human beings, both male and female, and they have a really long neck. That's good for you and bad for them. And like I said, if it's a life and death situation, then just go for the neck and the groin. So yeah, just practice your combos, right? For at least 3 minutes each combo, and just those 3 combos that I told you. That's all you need to learn for now, right? And then obviously the self-defense move, and you're gonna come up with a whole bunch of self-defense moves on your own, but just do it strategically, right? And just remember, the eyes are very fragile. Go for the bullseye. Put a thumb in the motherfucker's eyes, right? That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And then you climb the stairs, and you can do it with both legs, and so forth. But if you want to get in good shape, the best thing to do is to jog conservatively. And you're not going to get a lot of people that say this, but a lot of people are idiots. Jog conservatively for 60 days. Not every day. Every 4 days, go for a jog, long distance. And carry a knife or pepper spray too, if you need to. And after those 60 days, continue doing your conservative jogging. And what I mean by conservative jogging is just jog to a speed where you can stop and you can fight and you believe that you can dominate. Don't jog to the point where you're like, oh, I'm tired. If I stop and I had to fight, I wouldn't be able to. I call it a boxer jog. I think that's what I've been calling it. It's not a known thing. It's just what I call it. And it's just going at a speed where you feel comfortable, and you know that if something was to happen, that you could turn up the speed and run away, right? Like if there's a bear following you or something like that, and you had to get to somewhere safe, that you could put on the gas and go, or you could stop and fight. And that's what I call a boxer jog, conservative jogging. And then when those 60 days are over, you want to start sprinting during your conservative jogging. So you're jogging, you're comfortable, and then you could even set a timer on your watch or something like that. When that goes off, you do a burst. But again, you're not doing a burst of energy and speed of jogging to the point where you're going to run out of energy. So just sprint, but also keep in mind that I have to reserve energy. There's a saying, you always have to remain hungry. And that's kind of correlates with what I'm trying to explain. I can't just kind of put it together with how to explain it to you. But just always remember in the back of your head to reserve energy and to stay calm, because your mind controls the body. Your mind is 90%, the body is only 10. And never overtrain. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to skip rope. You're going to want to boxer jog or jog conservatively. And you're going to want to do burpees, right? And you're going to want to practice those 3 combos. And you're going to want to train for at least 1 hour every single night. And that will be good for your mind. It will be good for your body. It will be good for your soul, and so forth. Anyways, guys, this video is more so just dedicated to my daughter, and also St. fucking Patrick's Day, yeah. But yeah, hopefully I'll have some videos coming soon. Right now, I am fighting a child pedophilic sex ring known as the Family Court and Child Protection Services. Here in Ontario, it's called the Children's Aid Society, and they are running the Canada's largest child sex ring right now. So I'm really spending my energy doing that and lifting weights and not doing these videos. But again, it's around St. Patrick's Day, and my daughter asked me to teach her how to fight. So this is the beginning of me teaching my daughter how to fight, and hopefully you agree with at least some things that I'm trying to teach, and that you could teach your sons and daughters as well, right? Because little boys also have to defend themselves against men sometimes, the same way that little girls do, right? So it correlates really to everybody, and so forth. But again, guys, happy St. Patrick's Day, and keep your fucking dukes up.